Hi, my name is Jimmy Tran. I am one of the band directors here.
And I'm Rick Brockway. I'm the other band director here at League City Intermediate School. This is an exciting time for your fifth grader. With elementary drawing to a close, many new doors will soon be opening. We are so happy that your family and your child has expressed an interest in our band program at League City Intermediate School. This is the window of opportunity to take advantage of learning to play an instrument. We're glad you're here. This video is going to describe the process that we use to fit instruments with children, children with instruments, and make sure that we've got everyone in the ideal place for them to be successful. Music belongs in our school, not because it's fun and entertaining, but because music is basic to learning. The ancient Greeks had a study called muse, M-U-S-E. Muse was the study of math, astronomy, and music all at once. They didn't delineate between those various areas. They saw them all as the same thing because in fact they are. They are all ways of knowing the universe, the physical universe, and how we're connected to it in a human way. By now you've probably heard of Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. One of those intelligences is music. There's nothing else like it. It is a way of knowing. In band, we're going to teach children to do critical thinking. We teach teamwork, responsibility, and diligence. We are radically different than nearly any other subject in that what we are teaching is real. We really are going to play instruments. We're not just going to imagine that we got on a train headed west at 60 miles an hour and then switched to a different train heading east at 30 miles an hour. We're actually going to get on the train.
Except for percussion, we begin with the premise that no one knows anything about reading music or playing an instrument. We ask that the students have instruments by the first week of school. That's just a little more efficient that way. During the first week, we go over how to assemble, take care of the instrument, and we also go over all the supplies that the children will need, including books, reeds, mouthpieces, and music stands. We're going to begin making sounds together for the first time in class during the second week of school.
Our first big performance we call Teach the Parent to Play Night. It's really just open house for band. You'll come up and the children will show you what they've been doing so far. That's usually in October, maybe the 1st of November. Then we're going to do a winter concert and a spring concert. That's it. We don't do any before school or after school rehearsals with 6th grade band. After 6th grade, we place children in actual band classes. In 6th grade, they're in like instrument classes, so it's just the clarinets or just the trumpets in separate classes. But in 7th grade, we place them in actual band classes and play actual band literature. We do a little more performing. We do a couple of pep rallies and we go play at a football game. We don't march. We don't do any marching until high school. We have great high school bands. After high school, there is opportunity for children in college. We've had lots of kids continue into college. We've even had a few drum majors, one at BYU, a couple at A&M, and so forth. After college, there's opportunity to perform in community bands and even beyond. Here's a picture of the Jackson family. Both of the children in the center there were in our bands. And Mom is on the left there with her flute. This is a picture of them performing at church. Looks like maybe Christmas. How cool is that?
Band is a three-way musical partnership between the parent, student, and teacher. Playing an instrument is challenging. It's hard. It's important that parents encourage their child to keep on going. In fact, parental involvement is the single most important factor to a student's success. We do offer private lessons for those who are interested. Private lessons are one-on-one instructions from a professional on your child's instrument. While private lessons are not required, children who do take private lessons do better than those who don't. Every child who wants to take private lessons can, as long as teachers are available. Be involved. We offer a band booster program where you can help with fundraising for the band and also volunteer efforts. The key to success is practice. It is important that beginning band students establish good practice habits. Those that practice do well. Those that do not practice have difficulty. I encourage you to help your child set up a specific time for daily practice. For the first month or so, just a few minutes will be all they can handle. After that, a minimum of 20 minutes a day, every day, is required. We like to think of practicing as band homework. Now, you may eventually need to remind your child to practice. It really is work to learn to play an instrument. The new eventually wears off for even the most motivated student. This is the point that character or character building comes into play. Work is a good thing. We focus on virtue. We like to say that it is good to be good. There's nothing more gratifying than working to be good at something. Now, you may be a little apprehensive. Don't worry. Our program is set up so that your child will be successful.
About obtaining an instrument. It's important that the instrument be in good working condition and that the instrument be a good instrument. It's hard enough to play an instrument without having the added handicap of trying to do so on one that does not function properly. This includes the need for a proper mouthpiece. Not just the instrument itself, but the things that go with it are important as well. The mouthpiece is hugely important. There are 3 ways to obtain an instrument. You might already have one. Be sure to get it checked out by a certified repair technician, or you can bring it to school here at League City, and we're happy to check it out for you. You might be able to find a used one in a pawn shop, newspaper, maybe Uncle Fred has one in the bottom of the closet. Again, make sure you get that checked out. That's really important. The third way is to rent or purchase one from a music store. There are a couple of music stores in the area. We recommend Music and Arts. They come out to our school. You can go with either new or used. Either one is fine. And if you get it from a music store that's a reputable vendor, then they will guarantee that the instrument has everything it needs and that it is in good working condition. Now, there is a thing that we call step-up instruments. These are better quality instruments that the children will be using in high school or later on in intermediate school. Step-up instruments are more delicate and more expensive, so we actually don't recommend that 6th graders use those. They can also be a little bit more difficult to play at first. We can overcome that part of it. The main thing is that they're more delicate and they're more expensive. We want to give our students a chance to handle the instruments and learn how to take care of them before we go to the next level of instrument. You could pay cash for a beginner instrument. You'll save money that way. If you feel comfortable doing that, that's not a bad way to go. If you get a good price, then in a couple of years you could actually sell it for virtually the same money that you paid for it. Although honestly, a lot of times we keep that instrument to use for high school marching band. We recommend Music and Arts Music Store. They come to the school and service our campus. They make sure that we've got everything we need and that everything is right for our kids. It's just experience that tells me that. We've had really good luck with them. They do really good work. They also have a quality repair center And so they do a good job taking care of the instruments. You're under no obligation to use music and arts. You can find the instrument wherever you like. It doesn't matter to us, honestly. We just recommend them as a service to you. When choosing a store, you need to be careful that you accept no other brand other than the ones that we're recommending. We're recommending the instruments that are tried and true, that have had lots of success over the years and are proven to hold up and work well for students. When you hear a store tell you that the instrument they sell is just as good as the one we recommend, be weary of that statement. They're telling you that because they can't get the one that we're recommending. They're not actually certified vendors for it. So be careful with that. A good rule of thumb in selecting a music store to purchase an instrument is the repair facility. Ask about the repair facility. Ask if they have one. That's important. You might also ask if they are familiar with our campus, if they're familiar with our school. That's important too. Finally, if affording an instrument is an issue for your family, please talk to me. We are happy to help for students who are in financial need.
Here at Lake City Intermediate, we do individual instrument fittings. These are 20-minute interview slots with a band director. The band director is there to really guide your child into finding the right instrument that is right for them. A parent will also be here too. We have created online sign-up links for you to select a time slot for these fittings. Interviews are available on Friday, April 30th from 4:20 to 7 p.m. or Saturday, May 1st from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We want every child to be successful. Now, we're all made a little differently. Some instruments are right and some are wrong for any person. We want to find one that is right for your child. There are some physical characteristics that we take into consideration when placing a kid on an instrument. For example, braces, teeth, finger length, and dexterity. Personality is important too. The temperament of the child, their grades, and work habits can play a large role in what instrument they play in. The child must be happy too. We want the child to want to play their instrument.
Here at League City Intermediate, we're not really trying to teach children to be professional musicians. That's not our goal. We're trying to create a good quality band experience for all of our children. To do that, we need balanced instrumentation. It's important. Children depend on each other for this experience. Again, that sets us apart from most other classes. Let's take a look at this slide. Experience tells us that out of our 85 or so children signed up for band this coming year, we know that interest will lie about like we have listed on this slide. Notice saxophone and percussion. Right. Now, if everyone played the instrument, that's the first instrument they can think of that they put down as something they're interested in, this is what we would get. Imagine what a band like that would sound like. It really wouldn't be much fun, would it? You'll notice that hardly anyone would ever put down euphonium. That's largely because they don't know what a euphonium is. So we know that through the instrument fitting process, we're going to give our children more information and help guide them in a direction that's great for them and great for the band too. In band, we have 3 of the instrument families represented. The first one here is the Woodwind family. It includes saxophone, clarinet, oboe, bassoon, and flute. At least these are the ones that we use for our 6th grade band. We expand on this a little bit in 7th or 8th grade, or maybe even high school. We can talk about that later. And here's a look at the brass family for our 6th graders. It includes French horn, tuba, trumpet, euphonium, and trombone. Finally, band is where you'll find the percussion family. Now, our percussionists actually play all of the instruments in this family. Percussionists are responsible for being able to play everything. This would include drums, like the bass drum or the snare drum or toms. It might include things like tambourine, triangle, crash cymbals. It also includes keyboard instruments like piano, marimba, xylophone, orchestra chimes. All of those things are part of the percussion family, and percussionists are responsible for playing everything. With percussion, we take a little bit different approach. This is because we have such huge amount of interest in percussion. So percussion is an instrument for which we actually audition. It's the only instrument that we do that way. The percussion auditions will take place Tuesday, April 27th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And again, there'll be a sign-up genius for you to sign up for a specific time slot. During that audition, we'll be looking at rhythm memory, coordination, basic percussion fundamentals, and that are needed for performance. You should know right up front that percussion requires a little bit of extra time. Percussionists are responsible for moving all of that equipment into performances and out of performances. That's going to be true in intermediate school, and it's going to be true all the way through high school, college, and the rest of your life. In fact, when a percussionist buys a car, one of their primary considerations is how much stuff they can fit inside the back hatch. I'm kidding, of course, not really. Something to think about when it comes to percussion is the student's willingness to count with a really big voice and count out loud. Finally, temperament. Percussionists are soloists. They're always soloists. If there's a triangle part, there's only one person playing it, and it needs to be heard. It needs to be right every time, so the person doing it needs to be diligent and prepared, and then it needs to be heard. Nobody else is going to do that. All of the percussion instruments are solo instruments. For that reason, a person who's a bit introverted or shy probably wouldn't be very comfortable in the percussion section.
We ask that children have 3 instruments in mind before they come to their fitting. 1 woodwind instrument, 1 brass instrument, and the 3rd instrument could be either another woodwind, another brass, or percussion. Keep in mind, students who do choose to play percussion will have to play all of the percussion instruments. The band director at your fitting will help you find the one that is right for you.
Here at League City Intermediate, we have great bands. We have great administrative support, great teaching, involved concerned parents, and great students. As a citizen, I appreciate what you parents are doing for your children. Band is a great experience for growing great children. And so, the lifelong adventure begins.
It is now time for you to sign up for an instrument fitting time. In the description of this video, there will be a link to a Google form for you to fill out your information along with your child's information. Once you're through with the form, there will be another link that will send you to Sign Up Genius for you to choose a time slot to do your instrument fitting. Those who are interested in percussion will then sign up for a percussion audition time too. We are so glad that you're interested in being a part of the League City Intermediate Band. We look forward to seeing you soon.